Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Don Fisher. Crews continue to work on a damaged fiber optic line that shut down internet access for many in Flathead County, but more importantly, forced Kalispell 911 to reroute incoming calls to Missoula. Around 9:30 this morning, a construction crew cut a fiber optic line in the Kalispell area, and this caused 911 calls to stop being delivered to the Flathead Emergency Communications Center. They attempted to reroute the 911 lines to the center's administrative phone lines and also to the backup in Whitefish, but both of those attempts were unsuccessful. Due to the location of the fiber cut, the lines were rerouted to Missoula 911. A local CenturyLink crew is working to repair the fiber line, and it is estimated that this work should be complete by later this evening. Flathead County 911 calls will continue to be answered in Missoula until the service is restored. A massive outage has wiped out power to Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan. An official with the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority, also called PREPA, says the problem is with the failure on the main transmission line. CBS News reports the power line that failed appears to be on the line where Whitefish Energy did work as recently as October 25th. Power generation plummeted from over 40% of capacity to 18% today. It could be tonight or tomorrow morning before this most recent outage is restored. Much of Puerto Rico has been without power since Hurricane Maria smashed the island on September 20th. The Libby community is still reeling after a fire destroyed one of its biggest economic providers. MTN's Nicole Miller has an update on the fire investigation and a response from residents and city officials about just how devastating this has been to their community.
The last part of the original, the tree manufacturing, lumber manufacturing part of the mill. And this was really the last standing tie to the timber industry at this site.
The lumber mill was built in the 1940s, a time some describe as Libby's good old days when lumber was a big industry in the area. But over time, the industry died off. When SK Finger Joint Plant started production at the site on May 27, 2014, the community was hopeful.
Yeah, we had a lot of hopes and dreams about this company because it really showed a lot of signs of progress, and it was going to really kick off.
The company was expected to start shipping product by a new rail spur coming to Libby at the end of the month. A ribbon cutting ceremony was canceled due to the fire. If the plant will be rebuilt is unknown.
It's too early to tell exactly what the impact's going to be and how long it's going to take for him to rebuild if he decides to rebuild. And then he's got quite a bit of stock out here that he'll probably still want to sell and get rid of. But when it's gone and the business is gone. So we'll just have to see what the owner's plan is, whether he rebuilds or what. I sure hope he does, because it was a good, viable economic industry here for us, and our last little foothold into the timber industry.
Reporting in Libby, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
And an investigation is still underway by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office to determine what caused this fire. The Christmas season has officially begun in Montana, and many Montanans took part in celebrating the beginning of the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree's journey this week during the first viewing event. Following the celebration, the tree was felled and placed on a truck and trailer that will transport the tree across the country. The tour had its first stop in Eureka, Montana, where folks can get a look at the Engelmann spruce from the Kootenai National Forest, which will represent the state of Montana on the lawn of the U.S. Capitol. The tour will end with a tree lighting on December 6th in Washington, D.C. And switching to weather, some freezing rain could be on the way, which could lead to some tough travel conditions as we wind down the work week. For more, let's take it over to Chief Meteorologist Erin Yost for her first forecast. Erin?
Yeah, we definitely started off today with a wintry mix, and that has continued for a lot of folks throughout this afternoon. Currently in the Flathead, we are still seeing a mix of rain and snow kind of here and there. Flow coming out of the southwest, ushering in that slightly warmer air mass, enough to give us all of this different kind of precipitation event. We will continue with this rain and snow mix as we close out your work week and head into this upcoming weekend. I do think, though, that our chance for freezing rain has kind of come and gone, which is a good thing, but we are still looking at a mixture of a little bit of everything. I've got the extended forecast on the way.
All right, thank you, Erin. The Montana Supreme Court has upheld the constitutionality of a CSKT water compact. Early in 2016, the Flathead Joint Board of Control contended that a small part of the compact was unconstitutional and that this portion of the agreement required the compact to be passed by a 2/3 majority vote in the Montana State Legislature. Wednesday's decision, delivered by the Montana Supreme Court Chief Justice Mike McGrath, confirms the constitutionality of both the compact and the legislative procedures under which it was approved by the Montana State Legislature. The CSKT Montana Compact is the result of more than a decade of negotiations to resolve the tribe's claims to reserved water rights within the state. The compact is currently awaiting ratification by Congress and the tribes prior to implementation. The Confederated Salish Kootenai Tribe is working hard to keep its traditional Salish language alive through the college classes and immersion schools that teach those ancient words. And at One Mission Valley High School, a new generation is eagerly embracing a legendary language. Jill Valley takes us there.
It's not a foreign language, it's a native language. And in this classroom at St. Ignatius High School, these students are giving a voice to Salish. She's one of a handful of students learning the language. Her Salish instructor, Naomi Biladu, is already thrilled at the progress this class is making this year, learning a language that struggles to be heard. She tells us only 21 tribal members are fluent. She wants to be another one.
There's 60 people now that are actively learning, including myself. We're just not going to let it die. We're just motivated to keep it going, to share what our ancestors shared with us.
For many of these students, Salish was spoken by their elders, so learning their native language honors them.
I've seen it dying out over the years. It's not a slow process. I think within the last 6 months, about 5 to 7 fluent speakers have passed on.
The sounds are different, the letters are too, but an old language has met new technology. Now there's an app that helps learners hear and say words, learn culture and history.
There's muscles and there's sounds in Salish that you don't normally use in the English language, so you just have to practice those things. It does take a while. You build up those muscles in your mouth and you just start practicing.
Naomi is encouraged that the year's just begun and her class is almost through the first workbook. She believes her kids could go further than any class before them, learning a language that is inherent to their culture.
Our tribal elders, it's so important to them, so if it's important to them, should be important to us.
In St. Ignatius, Jill Valley, MTN News.
And that learning app is available to anyone to download for free. Governor Steve Bullock announces a new effort to resource the combat opioid overdoses in Montana. Under a new law passed by the 2017 legislature, there is now broad access to the opioid overdose reversal drug naloxone. The drug, when administered during an overdose, blocks the effect of heroin and opioids, restoring breathing and preventing death. The new law allows trained first responders, public health professionals, and others to carry and administer the drug. Bullock said that this effort will save lives.
Too many of our friends, our neighbors, our family members are personally impacted by this opioid epidemic, and too many lives have sadly abruptly ended.
Law enforcement representatives say that this new law will help tremendously when responding to emergency situations, and according to the state, there have been more than 700 deaths from opioid overdose in Montana since 2000, including 15 in youth ages 18 and under. A second bill passed by the legislature allows emergency use of the drug in schools. Senate Republicans have been working on their own version of a tax reform, and they are planning on releasing that today. CBS News' Mola Langhe is on Capitol Hill to explain the differences between the new Senate version and the House version that is currently being debated.
Senate Republicans are unveiling their tax reform plan today.
The release of this plan is another critical step toward providing relief to the middle class.
The Senate version is expected to eliminate state and local deductions, just like the House plan. It will also limit the amount of people who pay the estate tax, whereas the House version eliminates the estate tax altogether. There are potentially 7 tax brackets under the Senate's version as opposed to the 4 in the House, and it will drop the corporate tax rate to 20%, but not until 2019.
We think we've got a strong bill that advances economic growth and higher wages and better jobs.
But some of the provisions, like the elimination of state and local tax deductions, could make it hard to get the 50 votes needed to pass the bill.
House Republicans are revising their version because of an unfavorable review from the Congressional Budget Office.
The CBO review says the House bill will add $1.7 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. Adding more than $1.5 trillion means Republicans would need 60 votes to pass the bill in the Senate.
Not a single Democrat has had any input into this bill. It was constructed entirely behind closed doors by the majority party, who have no intention of negotiating with Democrats.
2 more House Republicans announced Wednesday they will vote no against the plan as it's currently written. Up to 22 Republicans can vote no, and the bill will still pass. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And nearly every one of the no votes from the House Republicans so far come from states with high state and local taxes. Their constituents will be hit harder by the elimination of those deductions from the Republican tax plan. We may soon have a better idea of where the budget cuts could come from at the University of Montana as the school continues the effort to try and better align spending with actual student enrollments. Over the past few days, a special committee has been going over all the university's programs and forming what's called an academic program and administrative services prioritization. That's basically a list ranking more than 400 different class offerings and programs, ranking them from strong to not suitable. UM President Sheila Stearns appointed the panel and gave them less than a week to review the program's list and come up with the ranking. No decisions have been made yet on which programs will be cut. Coming up later in the show, Aaron will be back with a look at your forecast, which shows some sunny weather for the weekend. And up next, the holiday shopping season is near, which means the scammers will be out in full force. We'll have some tips on how you can keep your info safe after the break.